I think the great thing about AI in particular is that I haven't seen any company who is not convinced that they need to adopt AI in their day-to-day operations. There are things like, whether it was metaverse or Bitcoin, etc. There are some other technologies where people would have different opinion, but with AI, everyone is convinced that it makes you productive. And again, just as a solution, I think the earlier you adopt it, the earlier you will start seeing, productivity across your team. uh, the first step is not to use AI to replace someone. The first step is to actually use AI to increase productivity of your team. And once you have done that, you will see that, you know, your day-to-day operations, your productivity across the entire team, and eventually as a company, you'll be a far better company that will be able to serve its customers far better. And again, that helps you generate better ROI just for the growth of your company.
Welcome to AI and Marketing Unpacked, where we simplify AI for impactful marketing. I'm your host, Mike Allton, here to guide you through the world of artificial intelligence and its transformative impact on marketing strategies. Each episode will break down AI concepts into manageable insights and explore practical applications that can supercharge your marketing efforts. Whether you're an experienced marketer or just starting to explore the potential of AI, this podcast will equip you with the knowledge and tools you need to succeed. So tune in and let's unlock the power of AI together. Greetings, program. Welcome back to AI and Marketing Unpacked, where I selfishly use this time to pick the brains of experts at keeping up with and integrating or layering artificial intelligence into social media, content, advertising, events, search, and other areas of digital marketing. Oh, and you get to learn too. Subscribe to be shown how to prepare yourself and your brand for this AI revolution and come out ahead. Now, managing successful events can often feel like juggling countless moving parts, scheduling, attendee management, engagement, just to name a few. Even the most seasoned event planners struggle with the sheer complexity and time demand. What if there was a way to streamline these logistics, enhance attendee experiences, and elevate your event's success without the usual headaches? That's where AI comes in. Artificial intelligence is transforming the event management landscape, offering innovative tools and strategies to solve these pressing challenges. But how do you effectively incorporate AI to maximize these benefits? Today, we're diving deep into this topic with Muhammad Younas, CEO and founder of vFairs, a leading platform in virtual event solutions. Muhammad will share actionable AI strategies and real world examples to revolutionize your event management, saving you time, improving attendee satisfaction, and delivering measurable success. Hey, Muhammad, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mike, for having me.
So glad to finally be able to do this. I'm so excited to have you here today. Can you start by just telling us your journey in founding vFairs and how AI has become integral to your platform?
Absolutely. See, I founded vFairs with the vision of transforming the event experience by leveraging cutting edge technology. I still remember I went to a job fair in my university. I had to wait in line for almost over 2 hours to talk to a rep at IBM, only to be told that, hand over your resume, apply online, right, and so forth. And I was like, the whole experience can be a lot more better for exhibitors, for attendees, for event organizers, and for everyone else. So initially, I solved that by building a virtual event platform so that we can run any event, whether it's a job fair, conference, or trade show, using technology in a far more effective way. But later on, we also have developed our solution for in-person events, and for the last couple of years have been helping hundreds and thousands of organizations use AI and technology to power their in-person events. So that's a bit of a story about vFairs. And again, see, AI over the last almost 18 months has become integral part of our daily work life as well as part of our platform. Right now, we're using AI pretty much across everything, whether it is event logistics, whether it's to personalize the content, whether it is to power, chatbots using AI. So it's pretty much integral part of everything that we do within our solution now.
So let's talk about that. Let's dig into like event logistics. I've been running virtual events since, 2018. I think is when I ran my very first virtual event for Agorapulse and started doing it almost every single quarter. And that's always been a combination of Google Forms and emails and spreadsheets and different kinds of platforms. How do you think AI is changing or has changed the event planning process?
Yeah, I think let's start from the beginning, right? So the very first thing is just to even come up with a checklist. You know, if you tell our platform now, I plan to run an event, a conference with 500 people having X, Y, and Z tools, can you generate checklist for me? I don't want to make sure that I don't miss out on any key component. So generating event planning checklist, that's the start of it. Once you have gone through that, let's assume that you're now coming to the event. Within the event, there are, I don't know, dozens of sessions. AI can actually recommend you which session you should be attending from a dozen of sessions that you have. So AI can personalize session recommendation for you. If you need support at any point, whether it's an in-person event or a virtual event, now there are AI-powered chatbots that can support you, that can answer any technical inquiry or any event-specific inquiry for you. So, it's that. Similarly, one of the things that we're excited to launch in Q4 is that as you come and as you want to grab your ticket for the conference, rather than you presenting your QR code, which is again very, very nice even right now, it will just do facial recognition for you, where as you come and as you are moving towards the check-in kiosk, it will automatically print the badge for you. Now, similar to any event, once you are done with the event or when you're trying to promote the event, you have to generate promotional ads and creatives for your event. So rather than you trying to create it from scratch, AI can generate a lot of those, content for you, a lot of those ads for you, and so forth. And once the event is over, rather than you downloading reports and trying to analyze the entire event success for yourself, now you can just go ahead and enter some prompts and it will analyze the entire ROI for you. These are just some of the things, where AI is helping pretty much from the start of an event all the way till the end of the event.
Those are all huge, and in fact, the very first one you mentioned, having a checklist, that is fantastic. Because if those of you listening haven't yet run a virtual event, and tomorrow your CMO comes to you and says, "You know what, Johnny? I want you to run a virtual event yet this quarter." And you're thinking, where do I even begin?" That's huge because I can tell you at Agorapulse, we have this entire Asana project template for our virtual events. And we weren't just given that. That was something that I had to basically invent over the past 6 years. And all the different ways that I've created virtual events, right? These are all the different tasks that I've discovered on my own. I need to remember to do this. I need to remember to do that. So now that project is probably 100 different tasks and things that we need to do. So being able to just step into a tool and say, you know what, we're doing an event. It's in 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever, with this many people on this topic. What do I need to remember? Love that. That is huge. You also talked about personalization. That was just a little thing that you snipped in there. And I'd love if you could expand a little bit more on how AI is impacting personalization of events.
Absolutely. And Mike, I'm just going to, so I absolutely agree. See, checklist, first of all, for virtual events is important. Given that we power in-person events, I want you to know that sometimes that's even more important because with virtual events, the thing is that you're still dealing with a vendor or maybe at max a couple of vendors because with virtual events, pretty much, company like VFairs or any other can power the entire conference for you. But when we work with our customers for in-person events, the reality is that you have dozens of vendors. You're not dealing with who can provide the entire event tech for you. You still have to deal with the F&B for your food and beverage. You still have to deal with an AV company. You still have to deal with a hotel to book your rooms. Just in general, what I have seen is that event checklist, is even a lot more important for an in-person event than just virtual. Uh, just coming back to your question for the AI content personalization, I just wanted to know that the way events are being run now by our top customers is that they are providing tailored content and tailored experience every attendee in their event, which means that as attendees are registering for their events, these event organizers are capturing what do this particular attendee cares for. They might be there for I don't know, some, content or might be success stories or case
Right.
studies, or they might be there for networking or they might be there for lead capture. Based on those couple of questions that they ask in the registration form, their entire agenda is personalized for them. The push notifications to those attendees are personalized just because the system now knows what exactly this particular attendee cares for. So everything from session recommendations to networking opportunities to follow-up emails, they're all now personalized pretty much for every attendee based on what they really care about.
Well, first, thank you for drawing out the fact that you also support in-person events. My experiences with virtual events, I've done booth logistics for an in-person event, so I have some sense of what else goes into an in-person event. Enough sense that I don't want to have anything to do with in-person events because, to your point, the amount of things that have to be thought of and taken care of has been increased, exponentially when you've got that in-person element. So thanks for sharing that. And that's super interesting about the personalization aspect. Many of us understand in marketing and sales and other aspects of the industries that personalization is sometimes the difference maker when it comes to either making a sale or just the overall experience. And that's what we're talking about with events, right? Is we want to make sure every single attendee has the most magical experience that they can possibly have that we can provide for them so that they remember us, so they talk about us online, they have that great experience with the sponsors and so on, which also leads to customer support, which you've kind of touched on a couple times. That's huge. We all know questions occur, sometimes issues happen, and those are unavoidable, but how we deal with them is often the difference maker. What kind of like AI powered customer support chatbots are you guys working with or building?
So first of all, these chatbots are for all types of users that interacts within the vFairs platform. The first one is our own customer, which are using our backend. Now, when they're using our backend to build the entire event, they have a named account manager, they have a named customer success manager, but many times they just want to quickly ask our system, oh, by the way, I want to see examples of some of the best conferences that vFairs has run. They don't want to wait for a human to go back and reply. And sometimes a human would not know the thousands of events that vFairs has power. Now, our chatbots now has the entire, you can say, dictionary of what vFairs has done, all the kind of events that they have done. And when our customers query any kind of questions to our chatbot, they would be able to get the most accurate reply for that. And again, this chatbot is being trained. We have launched it just for some of our beta customers. And again, this is going to be rolled out to all of our customers in Q4. What we have also launched is what an attendee or a speaker or an exhibitor gets to interact with vFair's front-end platform. Again, launched in beta. The idea is we provide 24/7 chat support to all of the attendees across all of our events. Previously, it was all done by human, but now that is powered by both AI and human, which is again, the first response that these attendees are getting is through an AI-powered chatbot, unless someone actually wants to get into an audio or video chat, at which point a human, kind of comes in. But yeah, so far from a response rate perspective, we have seen that we are able to get back to any of these inquiries uh, with 10 times better speed than what we were able to do before, because like AI chatbot can throw in a response instantly versus a human who sometimes have to go back, double check with a couple of people in order to provide the most accurate reply. And again, we are seeing tons of adoption across all of our stakeholders for these AI-powered chatbots.
That is huge. Speaking as a event organizer, being able to get help instantaneously when I need it, and maybe it doesn't solve the entire issue, but at least there's a response there. That's huge because we all know events are happening, real time on a schedule. It's not something I could wait a day or two to get a response on sometimes if I'm like in the midst of hosting the event, which has happened. Things happen, they go wrong. And I appreciate that there's also those questions and opportunities for attendees to get the help they're looking for. Now, speaking of attendees, you mentioned earlier how everyone has their own motives sometimes for attending events. Sometimes they're looking to learn, but oftentimes they're looking to network. So let's talk about networking. How do you see AI impacting event networking?
See, for us, what we have learned from our own customers is that the main purpose for most of the events, if not all the events, is networking. So for us, networking is the singlest crucial element across the entire event spectrum. Now, just in order to enhance that, previously what used to happen was that attendees would mention what they're looking for, then they have to go manually look for other people who match their interest, initiate again a request to meet with them or network with them and so forth. But now with AI, they're matched automatically based on their interest. They're matched automatically to who they want to talk to. And once they are meshed, they go ahead and have that conversation. In a virtual platform, it's a virtual meeting. In an in-person one, it's an in-person meeting. Similarly, not just that AI-based networking, AI also helps us analyze networking patterns, and it provides insight to event organizers, helping them create even more meaningful interactions. So it's just not for attendees, it's also for the event organizer of what kind of patterns have they seen. If in the future they want to run even better event with even more enhanced networking opportunities, what are some of the things that they can take from AI in order to get the right audience so that they mesh even more with each other for their future events.
First of all, I could not agree more on the importance of networking. I've talked about this time and time again. Networking is the entire reason why you should be having events because it's going to create those magical moments for attendees. I tell the story, for instance, about how I got hired at Agorapulse is because I met the CEO of Agorapulse 8 years ago, got introduced to him. And as part of that story, every single time I share the fact that I was attending an in-person event. I named the event Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. That's part of that experience that will always be embedded into my memory as part of that journey that I was on. So those are the kinds of moments that you can create. And I love the idea of using AI to automatically pair people who have similar interests, similar backgrounds, similar goals, and give them the opportunity to meet each other. Folks, we're talking with Muhammad about the impact that AI is having on events and event management. And I've got several more questions that you're not going to want to miss. But before we get to those, I'd like to share with you the tool that I'm using every single day to help me leverage AI personally and professionally. This episode of AI and Marketing Unpacked is brought to you by Magi, your gateway to making generative AI incredibly simple and accessible. Wondering how to seamlessly integrate AI into your marketing strategy without getting bogged down by complexities? That's exactly where Magi shines. It provides user friendly AI solutions that empower marketers just like you to innovate and elevate your campaigns without needing a degree in data science. Imagine having the power to generate creative content, insightful marketing data analysis, or even personalized customer communications. It's all at the touch of a button. Magi isn't just about providing tools, it's about transforming your approach to marketing with AI that's tailor made to be straightforward and effective. So, whether you're looking to boost your content creation process or want deeper insights into your marketing performance, Magi makes it all possible with a few clicks. No fuss, no hassle, just results. Ready to simplify your AI journey? Visit Magi today to learn how their solutions can revolutionize the way you engage with your audience. Don't just market, get smarter with Magi. Tap the link in the show notes. Muhammad, you've graciously shared a couple of the things that you guys are doing with VFairs in terms of AI powered event management and that sort of thing. Can you share a couple of the other tools that you guys have created, maybe along the lines of content creation and repurposing that had that AI element to it?
Yeah, see, for any event, an event organizer has to generate a lot of content. They have to generate content for emails, whether these are registration confirmation emails or pre-event marketing emails or post-event promotional emails. They have to write a lot of social media posts in order to generate excitement about the event. They have to write blog posts sometimes in order to promote sponsors or the event itself. So we have developed, again, tools, AI content generation tools that can, once you input your event related information to that particular tool, it will just generate all of that content for you with just a single click. You will get all of your emails in VFair's backend. You will get all the social media posts that you need to use in order to promote the event, before the event, during the event, after the event. It will generate tons of blog posts for you for any of those needs. This is like just the basic that we have done, and we have launched it almost a year back. What we have also recently launched this year is that as our customers are running webinars throughout the event, this will take the webinar, it will generate tons of just webinar content from that particular webinar, whether these are snippets that you can launch or post on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whether it's taking the content out of the webinar and creating content for you for LinkedIn, for YouTube, or for any of the other things. So the idea is that event generates tons of content. And what our platform does is that it helps you generate a lot of post-event content that you can use across all of your social media platforms and any other website marketing.
That's huge for a couple reasons. The first obvious one is that you're saving folks a lot of time because in any event of any kind of size, you're talking about an hour, multiple hours, multiple days sometimes of content, and that's a lot to go through. But I think almost more importantly is the fact that you're encouraging the repurposing of that content. And I say that because I don't know how many times I've seen event organizers and businesses, they host an event, they put so much effort into a webinar, an in-person event, whatever the case might be, and they've got that recording and then they don't do anything with it because it's just such amount of work. And and I get it. They put their heart and soul into making the thing happen, and they're literally exhausted by the time that's done, and they don't wanna look at it again, and they don't have the time to repurpose it, or they're probably on to the next campaign and the next campaign. So that's amazing that you're making that happen. Is there anything in the platform that's specific for speakers and speaker assets, or is that just kind of part of you could just say, "Hey, give me some copy for speakers?"
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's that as well, where again, you can go, you can just tell that, by the way, here's a link, here's a LinkedIn URL for this particular speaker. It will generate the entire speaker bio for you. That speaker bio can be used again within the platform, outside the platform, and so forth. Similarly, you need sometimes introduction. Okay, I'm going to introduce speaker into this particular webinar. Can you give me just a content of how I can quickly introduce them? They will give a summary of that speaker bio to you as well. So yeah, all those things are quite. And again, pretty much what you said. See, a lot of these things used to be done by, I know, a team of 3, 4, 5 people. But now with AI, again, these people are now 10 times more productive. If in the past they were able to run a couple of events, now these same set of team members are able to manage 5, 6, 7 events just because of the tools that they have with vFairs.
I'm laughing. I think it's cute that you said it was a team of 3 to 5 people. I was a team of 1. I was a team of 1 having to do everything that you just mentioned, by hand, research the speakers, craft the bios, craft the intros, craft the social shares, all the copy. Super excited at the prospect of using AI, and all that makes sense. I mean, for those of you listening, you've been subscribers to my podcast for a while, you probably heard me say a couple of times, I use AI to build out this podcast. I give, ChatGPT or Magi a link to the guest's LinkedIn, and I tell the AI what the guest wants to talk about, and we craft together the entire show script and all the questions and everything. So I'm using AI every day for those kinds of things. Applying it to events makes complete sense. Now, we've done all that. We've had the event. It's been a huge success. Everyone's happy. Now it's time to look at the reports and the analytics to see what actually happened. How is AI helping us adapt?
Yeah, as you said, see, once the event is over, again, vFairs platform give you tons of data. People who have registered for the event, who logged in, who didn't log in, once they logged in, which event they attended, which session was the most, you know, let's say, engaging session, which sponsors got the highest amount of attendance and so forth. But you had to analyze that data. It would give you tons of dashboards and tons of Excel files, but you still have to go through them. You have to, understand it. But now with AI, you can just prompt the AI bot that provide me insight about my event, and it will give you all the insights about how successful this event was, how successful it was compared to your other events, how successful it is compared to just in general other events of similar type. It will tell you then everything unique about this particular event, from session attendance to insights about the attendees to insights about the sponsors and so forth. So again, that analysis piece is now done for you by AI as compared to you trying to analyze each and everything by yourself. That's one. The second thing is then you have to generate reports in a certain format for your sponsors, for your management, and so forth. But now, if you give certain inputs, it can create that report for you that you can then go ahead and share it with whoever you want to share. So both of those things, whether it's analysis or post-event report generation, all of that, work has been automated for you by AI now within vFairs.
Brilliant. Love that. I'm curious about your company outside of the event space. In other words, vFair specifically, how are you guys using AI internally in some of your daily operations? How is it helping you at the company?
Yeah. So pretty much across the spectrum. So again, I head our sales and customer success division, other than just managing the entire company. And for me, again, I have 30 people. Again, they're having calls every single day, and there are certain things that I want to get an input just instantly as and when it's happening. As and when the customer is extremely happy, I want to learn about it. If a customer is unhappy, I want to, go through it. I cannot be in 30 calls every single day. But now, given all of these calls are recorded, I've given, our AI tool certain input that whenever this word is mentioned or this competitor is mentioned, send me a summary of what was that discussion. So I get to learn instantly about any of those conversations. That's one. The second thing is, again, we use tools like ChatGPT or Claude or any of those things in order to generate our own content as well, to again repurpose a lot of things that we do within our day-to-day operations. Similarly, again, uh, previously, every legal contract that we used to get, we would go ahead and ask our legal team, but now our legal team is 10 times more productive because they're also using tools where, can scan the entire document and can point out certain clauses and certain things that we should be careful about and so forth. So pretty much across the operation, whether it is our sales or customer success or project management, creating their checklist or legal, each one of them has their own specific tool to make them, 2, 3, 4, 5 times more productive now.
Fantastic. What tool is it that your sales team is using to record calls?
Gong. So we use Gong.
Okay.
And again, Gong has its own chatbot also. So that helps us with a lot of that insight as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's what we use at Agorapulse, and and we love that ability to surface very specific calls. Because you're right, if you got more than a couple salespeople, they're doing a ton of calls every single day, and that volume can mount. And whether you're managing the sales team or you just want to have some insights into the kinds of conversations that, as a company, you're having with prospects and existing customers, yeah, it's invaluable to not have to listen to every single call and just surface the ones that are relevant for whatever it is that you're interested in. You mentioned before, and I want to come back to, because you were talking about in-person events and you're talking about people coming up to the kiosk and having their stuff already ready. Was that facial recognition? Is that the kind of enhancement that we're seeing
Yeah.
with AI? And
Yeah.
how are these improving things like job fair experiences?
Yeah. Yeah. So for job fairs, certain things are extremely important. First of all, whenever a job fair is happening, there's a huge rush in of people who come exactly at a certain time. So for that, again, with facial recognition, again, as they're walking in, they are automatically checked in as compared to them even waiting for 5 seconds to 7 seconds, which is usually the case right now. But we are trying to even improve those 5 seconds to 15 seconds wait time, pretty much zero time. Because as you check in, as you come to the job fair, you're automatically checked in just because of the facial recognition. That's one. The second thing is for some of these government sponsored job fairs, there's this element of enhanced security, which means that we need to recognize the person not just for the check-in process. We also need to recognize them purely from a security perspective as well. So again, even for that, creates tons of more just opportunities, for more people to come in, and again, for an event organizer to smooth out the entire check-in process and networking opportunities. So for job fairs, it's extremely important, really for any government-powered event in general. They for them, it's extremely important. So, yep. And again, just in general, for any conference where you want to reduce further the wait times, facial recognition is going to be key that we're about to launch in Q4.
Love that, because most of you are going to be thinking as an attendee, you don't want to stand around waiting to get into an event. And that's true. But I got to tell you, I have been part of some huge events. We exhibit at like the B2B Marketing Expo in London, which has anywhere from 5 to 10,000 attendees coming into this space. And as an exhibitor, I don't want potential booth visitors standing outside the room. I want them in the room as fast as possible. And that expo is a great example, because you got to walk up, you have to stand in line and wait to check in and get your lanyard to walk in. And then the restrooms are outside. So people have to come and go all the time throughout the entire day. And every single time you come back in, you've got to wait and go through security, and they've got to look at your badge and recognize you. If we can reduce that amount of time, that's more time people are spending doing what they want to do. And it's more time that they're available to me as an exhibitor. So I love that use case. I love that advancement. Looking ahead, what other kinds of advancements are you seeing when it comes to trends in AI, for event management, and more importantly, how do you think businesses can prepare to leverage some of these kinds of advancements?
Yeah. See, I think with AI and advancement in technology, whether it's within the VR technology and so forth, you will see that the future of events is going to be even more immersive as well as even more interacting through the use of AI and through the use of advancement technology in general, AR, VR technology. I'm of the opinion that events are already one of the greatest assets for a lot of companies to produce ROI for networking and so forth. This is going to get even better. The next 5 years are going to be golden years for events. It's purely because of AI and a lot of advancement in technology. Two, I think the great thing about AI in particular is that I haven't seen any company who is not convinced that they need to adopt AI in their day-to-day operations. There are things like, whether it was metaverse or Bitcoin, etc. There are some other technologies where people would have different opinion, but with AI, everyone is convinced that it makes you productive. And again, just as a solution, I think the earlier you adopt it, the earlier you will start seeing, productivity across your team. Uh, the first step is not to use AI to replace someone. The first step is to actually use AI to increase productivity of your team. And once you have done that, you will see that, your day-to-day operations, your productivity across the entire team, and eventually as a company, you'll be a far better company that will be able to serve its customers far better. And again, that helps you generate better ROI for the growth of your company.
Thank you for sharing that. I could not agree more, both with your perspective on the event industry and how it's going to see a pendulum swing back the other direction in terms of, taking off and that sort of thing, thanks to AI, but also your broader view of AI. Again, those of you listening, I've said this multiple times. You need to be thinking about how you're using AI internally, how you're integrating AI into your products and services, and how your entire industry is being changed and revolutionized with AI because it is different from so much of the technology and the things that we've seen hyped in recent years. That's not the case with AI. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Mohammed, you've been amazing. This has been such an interesting and compelling interview. We've covered so much ground. For those who want to learn more about you or about vFairs, where can they go?
Our website is the best place. So just go to vfairs.com, VFAIRS.com.
Fantastic. That's all we've got for today, friends. Don't forget to find the AI Marketing Impact podcast on Apple and leave us a review. We'd love to know what you think, what you'd love to see us cover in future episodes. But that's all we've got for today. Welcome to the grid. Thanks for joining us on AI and Marketing Unpacked. I hope today's episode has inspired you and given you actionable insights to integrate AI into your marketing strategies. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe on your favorite podcast platform and consider leaving a review. We'd love to hear your thoughts and answer any questions you might have. Don't forget to join us next time as we continue to simplify AI and help you make a real impact in your marketing efforts. Until then, keep innovating and see just how far AI can take your market. Thank you for listening and have a fantastic day.